First, though, store out of Vancouver, where a guy runs a store called Pirate Joe's. Why is it called Pirate Joe's? Well, because he goes down into, and I'm talking about Vancouver, Canada. I don't know if I made that clear or not. I'm talking about Vancouver, Canada here. And the fellow who runs Pirate Joe's stocks his store by coming down here to the States and buying a bunch of stuff from Trader Joe's and then bringing them back up to his store, Pirate Joe's, and selling them there. As you might guess, people over at Trader Joe's aren't like super psyched about this whole setup, so they are now suing Pirate Joe's. But do they have a case? That's the question. Well, we decided we'd give Pirate Joe a call. His name's actually not Pirate Joe. I'm probably, just so you know, throughout the interview, probably going to refer to him as Pirate Joe, but his real name is Michael Hallett, and he owns Pirate Joe's, and he joins us on the line now. Hey, Michael, thank you for taking the time.
Hey, Andrew, how are you?
Pretty good. For starters, is it okay if I call you Pirate Joe?
Sure.
I'm not saying I'm going to exercise my right to do that. I just wanted to know if it accidentally slips out. So I don't know if I did it.
It kind of complicates things, doesn't it?
Yeah, I guess so. I think so. I don't know that I did justice to your business plan. Can you explain exactly what you do and how long you've been doing it?
Sure. Almost a year and a half. I do just, and I always complain when people say, "Do you just go down to Trader Joe's and buy the stuff and bring it back?" It's really complicated to do. I started out in a little hole in the wall on the west side of Kitsilano in Vancouver. It's a west side kind of residential area with a couple of shopping districts, and I consulted with some lawyers and said, hey, I'm gonna resell Trader Joe's stuff. It's available on Amazon. It's on eBay, and so I thought, why not just see what happens if I open a grocery store? And the lawyers all said, pretty much the same thing, which is, be careful not to run afoul of their trademark. And so I took a step, in the opposite direction and hid myself in a defunct Romanian bakery. And the sign outside said Transylvania Bakery. I took down the bakery and I put trading, called a guy on Craigslist. He came out and painted trading on the outside, and away we went. Cedar wood shelving, IKEA brackets, and Trader Joe's stuff. And, and I went into the Bellingham store, like 6 or 8 months before and was shopping. And just one thing I want to clarify, I've got American and Canadian DNA. My grandfather was American. My dad's American. I lived and worked in the Bay Area for many, many years. My wife's American. I have a daughter who's American. So, I see things through, that prism. And so when I was shopping in Bellingham, as regularly Trader Joe's fan for many years, it's just swarming with, or it's teeming, shall I say, with Canadians who are just, clearing the place out. And I got talking to, one of the staff there, one of the managers, and I said, man, this is, how come someone isn't selling this stuff? Well, how come you guys aren't, classic question, how come you're not open in Vancouver? Well, we can't sell wine there, and we don't know why, but we're not opening in Vancouver. I said, okay, well, then the guy kind of more or less suggested that, someone should do it, and so I did it. And I went to them. I said, I'm going to do it. And they said, great, we'll help you out. And we talked about what number of SKUs I was going to use and what the best-selling products were, and got all organized. And then I went through and I bought one of everything that I was going to sell, took pictures of it, and did all the French translation stuff. And and then I went in there to buy my first load, and then the second load, and like $5,000 at a time, and I'm loading it in the trailer. And about the third time through, the snow was coming down in January, it's 2012. And this guy I've never met before comes out. And he goes, sorry, I heard you were doing this, and listen, I don't know, I can see where this is going. I don't think this is such a good idea. So, one thing led to them more or less saying, don't do it. Corporate sent me a letter saying cease and desist, and they had their complaint list was trademark, everything under the sun. And so it really, I'm called Transylvania Trading. I'm hiding as a Romanian bakery. Really? I'm infringing on your trademark somehow? So the lawyers have all said the same thing, which is the free sale doctrine holds that you buy something fair and square, you can resell it. It's yours to resell. And then my challenge has primarily been importing it legally, and staying compliant with Canadian law, which is no small undertaking. So
I'm a little confused about not to drill down here, but it is officially called Pirate Joe's now. So at some point you changed the name.
Yeah. So this other location came up in what they call Front Row. It's one of the most popular. It's literally kitty corner to Whole Foods, across the street from Safeway. And our nickname, we've been written up a couple of times, and our nickname was Pirate Joe's. Everyone's calling us Pirate Joe's. So I called up a guy that does 3D foam lettering, and for $97 I got Pirate Joe's cut out of styrofoam, stuffed it in the window, opened on 4th. And here we are. And all along, occasionally I would call up the lawyer that sent me the letter from Ottawa, and I would call her up and I'd say, "Hey, can I get some love in Bellingham? This secret shopping's killing me. You got to help me out." She goes, "Oh, let me call him." And then I wouldn't hear anything, and I call her back, and she said, "No instructions." I said, "No, really, no instructions." So. And I had responded to their cease and desist with an email saying, "Hey, I'm within my rights. I'm going to do it." And one of the things they complain about is that we deceptively use their shopping bags to deceive the public into thinking that we're affiliated with Trader Joe's.
So you use their actual shopping bags?
Well, that's how we buy this stuff. So we got all these crazy Trader Joe's shopping bags, and we tape them up and fix them up, and we recycle them, right? It says right on the bag, please use and recycle. So I kind of figure, well, if they would talk to me and say, look, here's what you need to do, and we'll work with you, we'll accommodate you. Hey, the bags, man, I'll freaking make sweaters out of them, whatever, man. It's and the Pirate Joe's thing, if Transylvania trading isn't going to work, then it isn't about what I call myself. And then Trader and Joe's, those are pretty, hard to trademark names anyway. So Pirate Joe's, there's Joe's everything, and there's Pirate everything, and there's Pirate Joe's everything. So, it's really a very easy shorthand way to make the fact that we are not affiliated unambiguous. Right? I mean, people get it right away. They come and go, "Oh my God, for sure, I know what you're doing."
Do you see their point at all, though? Let's just say that.
No, I absolutely do. I would take it out in a second. I mean, honestly, and so the P comes down. Okay, I'm Irate Joe's. Does that really make any difference? No. Why not? I mean, really? I mean, I don't even know. So what I'm doing is I get this lawsuit. I haven't technically been served, but for all intents and purposes, I've been served. So and I've spoken to their lawyer. I called the lawyer back and I said, "Dude, can I get a copy of it at least?" Because I got a phone call from CTV up here, and I didn't know anything about it. We get calls all the time, and I say, we don't do press. We're trying to keep under the radar. We don't want to stick a stick in the eye of the giant, so to speak. And a little background on that: when I was setting up for this, I called the lawyer who was named as the representative for Trader Joe's in the complaint against the guys that tried TJ'sHomeDelivery.com in New York in, I think, August 2011. They shut down. And so the complaint, you can find anything online, the PDFs out there, and you read the issues, read the list of complaints. And I thought, well, okay, let me call this guy up. So I called him up and I said, but here's what I'm doing, and he says, just stay under the radar and you'll be fine.
Well, let me ask you this. We've only got about a minute left, so
sure.
As briefly as possible, do you think that you're actually going to win this battle? As you said, you're sticking in the eye of the giant. As far as I know, Trader Joe's probably has almost unlimited resources they can spend on attorneys and such. I take it that you do not. Do you think that you will win this? Well,
all I'm trying to do is supply really great products. The fact that it's Trader Joe's products is incidental. It's Trader Joe's has done something fabulous. They have mastered the supply chain where they've taken out unverified sources. GMO is out, so it's clean stuff. It's very, very good food, and they've cornered the market on it. And there really is no other way to get that stuff. I mean, you go into, reliably across the board. What grocery store can you go into and just comfortably, reliably know that the stuff's been checked out and it's good and it's not going to be contaminated? And that's Trader Joe's. Now, they've set up shop in Bellingham. They've encouraged Canadians to come down. But the rationale for the store is principally that they can attract cross-border shopping. Well, you're a mom and you're out of peanut butter. What are you going to do? Your kids need that special Trader Joe's peanut butter. Are you going to go into Safeway and buy some junk? So all I'm saying is they've set up the market pressure for somebody to come and make it a little easier for you to pick up a jar of peanut butter. And if you can get it on Amazon, come into my shop. It's a little easier. And I'm trying to make the market fair. So that's my thing. Now, they're using the trademark issue to kind of get me to close. But because they don't have any other recourse, really, I don't think. So I'm saying, look, I'll take all this trademark stuff off the table. I mean, the Pirate Joe's thing, because that's not what the issue is.
Well, maybe, who knows? It sounds like maybe what will happen now is, because you're such a fan of their products and that's what started all this, maybe someday you'll end up in a Trader Joe's commercial. What do you think of that? Everything will end amicably and you'll end up being a spokesperson.
Oh, it's not really what I was trying to do when I set out to get on a commercial. But no, I mean, it is what it is. I'm not sure what the big deal is. Particularly, they sued me, and everybody's been calling. So I'm happy to answer the questions. I just, I'm not just another Canadian Down rating a store. I mean, it's in Bellingham. So there's I think there's a larger story about global commerce and NAFTA and supply chains, and it goes on from there. I love Trader Joe's. I'm their best customer, I suppose. So,
all right. Well, we're going to have to leave it there, Michael. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us.